Nick, so I don't know, can you tell us about your experience? I think your position is different also because you are managing the overall business, and therefore you care about the overall. Is not just running the operations or the business or the strategy, but is managing the overall business with all of their outcomes, both the financial, both the the sustainable ones. What I don't know, what's the barriers that you think that you find internally to when it comes to ESG strategy implementation?
Look, I think the first thing we had was definition. What is ESG? And I think if you asked all of the executives, everyone had a different view of what it was. So I think that was, so we sat down. I think Punki said it. There's lots of different frameworks. So which framework do we look at? And the more you look, the harder it becomes. The more you want to close the book and not do it anymore. But in the end, we chose GRI, and that sort of set the okay. This is what we need to do. Then it was a case of trying to buy the business in. And that's, I think, where we find, a lot of resistance. And it's mainly resistance because people don't really understand what it is and where it fits in. And so there's a lot of time that we spend explaining how that works and how it fits in. And it's also, we're also creatures of habit. So you've got business as usual. And like Rightwell was saying, we're in operations to do it. And sometimes you spend no time in strategy because you're too busy doing, sometimes it's the other way around. And so we find it difficult to get people into thinking about strategy and ESG when they're much more comfortable in their day-to-day operations doing what they do every day. So it's difficult to pull them out. And at the same time, it's not that, we're sitting idle waiting for something to do. And strategy comes along or sustainability comes along. We think, oh, that's a good idea. We'll go do that now. There's lots of other things going on in the business. We've got a big expansion going on. We implemented SAP a few years ago, and the smart people said, we're not supporting this anymore, so now you must upgrade to that. So now we're just going through a big transformation, taking everything from on-premise to the cloud, so everyone's running around doing that. And then we say, okay, now on top of all of that, now you must come and do this. And people say, what is it? No, it's sustainability. What is that? Well, yeah. We've got 9,000, 14,000, 45,000, 22,000. What do we need this thing for? What benefit is it? So it's then going back and ultimately explaining, look, it's a right to operate at the end of the day. So I think those are the key challenges that we have is that people. I think we realized also quite some years ago that we needed a dedicated strategy team, which we've had for quite some years now. And within that team, there's change managers as well, because change is a big thing in all of this. None of us likes change. I'm sure we all sit in the same chair in our living room to watch the TV. I bet you don't sit in a different chair every day. So it's even that difficult to watch the TV from a different chair. Imagine doing stuff at work. It's just impossible. So change management is also a big thing in there, and bringing people along. So we try and get strategy right the way down, so that my view is that you can go to the lowest person in the organization and ask them, what are you here for? What are you doing? And they should be able to tell you. So we involve people right from the bottom. And the way we do it is we do things called we do it through open space, which I don't know if anyone's used open space before, but it's a way they can get out and get ideas from the workforce and get them involved. So our strategy session in the bush starts with an open space with 500 employees. Then we end up with sort of 30 having a nice bottle of wine at the end. So it's quite a nice journey to get there, but it does involve everyone.